Welcome everyone. This is a slightly higher intensity practice designed to help you kind of offload excess energy so that you can sit. So it's my hope that you will use this to settle your body and take a nice long meditation or savasana afterwards. So we'll begin in cat and cow. You can take a few rounds on your own and then we'll land there together in a static table. So you're welcome to move and breathe the way that helps you arrive in your practice, that helps you sync the breath and the movement, and that helps you to start to concentrate the mind, bring it a little bit more deeply into the body rather than in the outside world. And if you want to, you can come a little bit more forward into a cobra pose and then press back a little bit more into a child's pose or a downward facing dog so that you can ripple and flow as much or as little as feels right for your body. Maybe about 2 or 3 more rounds. Take your time. But also start to think about arriving in a static table. Once you arrive in table, can let that sense of fluidity become a little bit more internalized. So even in a static table, you imagine that your right hand is pulling towards your left knee, that your left hand is pulling towards your right knee, that you're dynamically hugging into the midline as well as reaching away from it. So even though we look really still, there's a lot that's happening and the breath is flowing through. Step your left foot back behind you. Extend your right arm alongside your ear. You can always keep one or both limbs down just to sense a little more stability. Take a long breath in, option to lift your left leg up. Exhale, slow, pull the elbow and the knee together underneath you. And then inhale, reach the arm and the leg away. Really emphasize exhale, pulling the left knee in towards the chest. That's an action you'll see a little later. Inhale, reach out. Last time, exhale, pull the elbow and the knee together underneath you. Inhale, reach all the way back out. And this time you'll pull the elbow and the knee together underneath you and stay. Option always to put your right hand back down or to come into down dog first, but step your left foot forward, spin the right shin parallel to the back of the mat and reach the right arm up. So you can choose to put this hand that's down on the ground on a block. You can choose to climb it up onto your front thigh. You can also choose to let the left arm extend so that the elbow and the thigh push into each other. And then inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, roll the ribs open. Option to grab your left ankle. So you're using your arm on the inside of the front thigh to let the inner thigh open. And then firm the left hip underneath you so you feel really strong in your standing. Take a long, slow breath in. Exhale, roll the ribs open. And then option to take your hands down and use them the whole time, or you can just sweep your right arm around, tuck your right toes, and step to the top of the mat into a chair pose. So you can always put your hands down anytime you want more support. Take a long breath in. Long breath out. Slowly stand up and pull your left thigh up into your chest. You can always hold a wall. You can always choose to keep both feet on the ground. You could stay on the ball of your left foot. So you're starting to weight transfer, but you're not trusting your right leg to hold all of you. Take one more long breath in. Long breath out, step your left foot down to meet your right, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, open your chest. Exhale, step back, left foot, right foot into plank pose and pause. You can always put your knees down, you can always hover your knees. Just building a little bit of heat in the center to concentrate you. One more long breath in. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down, option to put the knees down. Inhale, cobra pose, open up across the chest. Exhale, press back, downward facing. Land your knees down. Let's just take one round of cat and cow. Inhale, open up across the chest. Exhale, round. And let that be the core action because we're going to bring that through. Inhale, come to neutral table. Feel all the activity about the pose. Opposite hand and knee pulling to each other. The core stabilizing, but everything radiating out from that center. And an option to stay here or tuck your right toes, put the ball of the foot on the floor. Option to stay here or reach the left arm forward. And option to stay here or lift it all up. Take a long breath in. Exhale, slow, elbow and knee together underneath you. Really emphasize that feeling of being in the center. And then inhale, reach away from it with real respect for the connectivity. Almost like it's reaching away reluctantly. Exhale, pull the elbow and the knee together underneath you. Inhale, reach away, but reluctantly. One more time, exhale, pull the elbow and the knee together underneath you. And inhale, reach away. This time we'll pull together and stay. Exhale, draw the elbow and the knee together underneath you. You can always put your left hand down or come through down dog, or step your right foot forward, spin the left shin parallel to the back of the mat. Now you can do with your right hand as you will. I'm going to spin around so you can see me better. You can choose to keep your hand where it was. You can choose to climb the elbow up onto the front thigh, or you can extend your right arm long with or without your hand grabbing the ankle so that you create a little pressure on the inside to keep the right thigh stretching open. An option to reach your left arm up. Take a long breath in, lengthen your spine. You can always grab a block as needed. Exhale, roll the ribs open. One more time, inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, roll the ribs. An option is always to put your left hand down on the ground, right hand down on the ground, and guide yourself with your own hands. Or swoop your left arm up and around, swoop your right arm to meet it, neutralize your left shin, tuck the toes, and step into chair pose. Take a long breath in. Exhale, come on up and hug your right knee into your chest. You can always hold on to a wall. You can always keep the ball of your foot on the floor so you've got the weight transfer without all the pressure on your left leg to hold all of you. One more long breath in. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, open up across your chest. Exhale, step back, right foot, left foot, plank pose, pause. You can always hover your knees or put your knees down and imagine you're lifting your knees. One more long breath in. Long breath out, slowly lower. You can always put the knees down so that the whole process is slowed into intentionality. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, press back, downward facing. Take a long, slow, steady breath in. Long breath out. Walk your hands and your feet towards each other. Roll up to stand and face the side edge of your mat. Then wiggle your legs apart so that you come into Prasarita Padottanasana. We'll just do a straight fold to begin, and then we'll add a little bit of juice to it. Just fold forward over your legs. Let the spine relax, let the neck relax. And I'll give an alternative if what we're about to embark on is too much for you. Everyone come up onto your hands and lengthen halfway. Take your right hand right underneath your face and reach the left arm up. It could just be this. Then left hand underneath your face and reach the right arm up. So you're twisting to the left and twisting to the right. You could add a little bit more juice to it so that maybe you take your hand a little closer to your opposite foot and twist. And maybe there's not even, and you can keep doing this as I'm talking, maybe there's not even a rhythm to it. It's just following the pace of your own breath. It doesn't feel like there's a beat of a drum that you have to keep up with. Other option to give a little more juice, bend into your left knee with the right hand in front of it and twist. So it's a little bit more like a side lunge. And you can make it as quick and rhythmic, or as slow and steady as feels right for your energy. So that can be where you stay. Everyone, let's meet in the center once you're even. And just bend into each knee a little bit just to create some fluidity in the hips and stretch them out. You can lean a little bit more into the opposite hip and then switch. And then for those of you for whom the following doesn't sound accessible, you can come back to this. We'll all roll up to stand. So the way that we're going to add a little bit more juice to this, you can watch just one time, is to bend into one knee and then to spring up onto the opposite leg. And we'll do that 3 times on each side. So you bend deep into one knee and then spring up, and that's the knee from when we were on the ground in cat-cow. That's the knee from when we were at the top of the mat at the end of that sequence. And then you bend into one knee and spring up, and then we'll do it on the other side. All right. So let's bend into the left knee. You can plant your hands down onto the ground and come back to where we were before, or you can take your hands into prayer at the center of the chest. And then slow on the breath, spring up. You can always drag the foot along the ground. You can always hold a wall. You can always stay on the ball of the foot. Let's do that twice more. Bend back into the left knee and then spring up, knee to chest. One more time, bend into the left knee, spring up, knee to chest. Then back into the left knee. You can take your hands to the ground, straighten both legs, let the spine soften. And then we'll do the other side, bend into the right knee. You can always keep your hands on the floor. Do one of the things you've seen me do before. Take a hybrid. So bend into the right knee. And then press into the left foot, pull the right knee into the chest. It could be more springy, it could be less springy. Let it be wobbly. We'll do that twice more. Bend into the right knee, spring up onto the left leg. So you really have to hug everything in. One last time, bend into the right knee, spring up. And bend back into the right knee. You can plant your hands down, just sort of sway from side to side. You can let both legs be straight. And then when you're ready, you can heel toe the feet together. And just bend into your left knee pretty deeply and sink some weight into your right hip. You can always have blocks for this under your hands, and then switch, bend into the left knee really deeply and sink some weight into your right hip. And let the left hip kind of push out to the side. And then slowly roll all the way up and come down to a seat. And stretch your legs out in front of you. Give them a big shake, 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 shake. Grab your blocks as you come to lie down on your back. Lift your hips up and put any number of blocks. I'm imagining you have 2 though, 1 or 2. Any height that feels right for you. Lower might be better. To stretch the hip flexors, extend your left leg out long. That's the first stage. Option to hug your right knee in towards your chest. You can always take the top of your left foot onto the floor beside the block, with or without the right knee hugged in, just to give a little bit more of a stretch across the top thigh. Just letting the breath be steady. And then when you're ready, you can slowly unravel. First, step your right foot down, then step your left foot down, and then we'll switch. So first option is to extend the right leg long. Second option is to take the right foot down beside the block. And then it's your option to hug your left knee into your chest if you need a little extra. Just giving your body some patient breaths to let it open. ready, first step your left foot down and your right foot down. Take a moment or so in a supported bridge of your choosing. So you might want to change the blocks. It's your option to take a supported inversion, lifting your legs up. I hope that this got your blood pumping enough and your body dispelled enough energy so that you feel like you can sit for your meditation or for your shavasana. Sometimes we don't actually realize how exhausted we are when we feel energized in that way that prevents us from settling for rest. Hopefully it was just the right amount of movement, just connected enough. And now you can let the mind sink into the body. When you're ready, plant your feet down. Of course, you can take a longer cool down if you want one. Set the blocks off to the side and either lay yourself down for your rest for Shavasana or come on up for a seated meditation. And I'll stay with you for just about a couple minutes, and then you can be on your own for a longer rest, which I really hope that you will do. Knowing that this time for meditation, at least that we have together, is finite, hopefully that will really help you snap into place to at least let the other distractions fade temporarily. Let the mind sink into the body. I would love if you would stay and rest or stay and meditate. But if it's time for you to close and you'd like to close with me, slowly make your way up to a seat. Bring your hands to prayer at the center of the chest. And bow your head to your heart. And when you're ready, slowly blink your eyes open. Thank you very much for practicing with me.